The last discovery that we'll make is that it's never too tough. Whatever it is. This deliverance from prison, are you kidding me? Try to map this one out. Just see if the disciples are, okay, we're going to break him out. Okay, who's got a schematic of the prison? Okay, now you got to get through the prison, and then the prison in the prison, and then the inner prison of the inner prison. Everyone got that? Okay, we're gonna have to get through about 300 guys. Who's up for it? And they just knew it was way beyond their ability. They knew it. So many moving pieces on the board. Surely nobody could have handled it all. It was just all too complex. Too many soldiers, too many chains, too many gates, too many variables. No point in trying, right? But Peter is now only a couple of doors away from safety. But he would have to get past this incredibly huge iron gate that literally sectored the prison off from the rest of the city. Superhuman strength would be required. Peter was so close, but yet still so far. But because of the prayers of the saints and the work of the Holy Spirit, like a door at Walmart, it just opened up for him. So let me talk to you about the iron gate of complication. Some problems in life, they're not time sensitive. They're not even terribly sizable. They're just complicated. And usually this involves relationship. There's just too many layers to it to even be able to properly express it. It's too long of a story. It's too involved. You don't want to hear it, right? We even do that to the Lord. Oh, you don't want to hear all this. It's usually relationships in this area. Too much bad history, too many bad words said, too much water under the bridge. It'll never be what it used to be. It'll never be what it should have been. And our problems seem incredibly complex. But God's power is delightfully simple. And when we choose to pray for clarity, for reconciliation, for healing in relationships, the Lord does have this way of cutting through all the layers of drama and misunderstanding and rumor and bad communication to help us find understanding. We can all relate to this. We all have a few people in the graveyard of a relationship. And every time we pass by the headstone, we go, oh. And the thought that could be fixed or healed at some point, we're like, oh, yeah, okay, thanks for that. But we've already said it's never too late for the Lord. And I remember, and I'm sure my brother has spoken about our dad from time to time. He was a complicated guy. And he never gave his life to the Lord. And there was a long season of time, I think for both of us. For me, it was like 13 years that I didn't speak to him. And I had to just come to some conclusions. I just realized one day I was the only one trying. You ever realize that in a relationship? And you're like, I think a relationship is kind of a seesaw. You need two people for it to work. Right? And I'd be sitting at the bottom. Like, it's not moving. And I realized that I can't do all the caring in this relationship. And it was hurting me too much. It really was. And so I just backed away emotionally. I just thought, well, Lord, I don't know. And it went like that for 13 years. And sporadically, I pray for Dad. And then one Saturday afternoon, I'm watching college football, and my phone lights up with my dad's name. I threw that thing down like it was a hand grenade. I went, ah! I literally did. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, ah! 13 years, come on now. Where do you start? And I just let it go to voicemail. And I spent the next 3 days going, Jesus, what do I do? What do I do? And even in my dad's unredeemed state, he recognized that it was a wrong thing to have no relationship with his sons. And his second wife had passed away. And so he called me up just to see how I was doing. And that actually led to, he was only alive for about another 2 years after that. But it led to somewhat regular phone calls back and forth. And just conversationally, he was telling me what it was like to live as a single guy. And I'm like, yeah, right? Never thought I'd have that conversation. But the Lord somehow worked through that mess and uncomplicated and undid all the knots. Right? And if you've experienced that in your life, you know only the Lord can do stuff like that. Only the Lord can do stuff like that. Where you have that thing and it's tied in on itself and you just can't undo all that stuff. And you just go, oh, it's not worth it. And then the Lord goes, poof, and it's all like flattened out. Wow, look at that. And maybe you do have a couple people in your life and you really miss them. And for some reason it ended badly. And you're thinking, yeah, but it's just so complicated. I know. But isn't it funny what we tell God is complicated? He kind of made everything, folks. We're like, no, really, this is complicated. He's like, okay, you say so. But if reconciliation isn't possible, the Lord will give you necessary healing to help us move forward with our lives too.